The Georgia Bulldogs may have lost to Alabama this past weekend, but they are about to go on a huge recruiting roll. What's going on, guys? Matt DeBary, DawgPost.com. The Georgia Bulldogs have a ton of major prospects who are ready to make their decision. A lot of them say it's coming soon. That could be tomorrow for one of them. That could be a few weeks for the rest. But in the next probably 2 to 4 to 6 weeks, I think you're going to see a lot of Georgia targets coming off the board. And yes, these are guys that Georgia needs if they do want to beat Alabama anytime soon. So this is really, really important. I know the Dogs lost this past weekend, but recruiting never stops. This is what Kirby does best. He goes out and he gets five-star kids. So I promise you, the loss to Alabama was a big deal, no doubt, but Georgia is going to continue to bring in five-star prospects each year, and they could be landing quite a few of them real soon. So let's start. I do want to start with Xavier Sori, top linebacker target. He's at IMG Academy. He tweeted earlier this week that he will have his commitment coming soon. Again, I don't know when exactly soon is for him. It could be in a few days, could be in a couple weeks, but soon is soon. So I do think it'll be in the next few weeks. I think it's down to Georgia and Florida. I've been up and down with where Georgia sits with him from the start, but I do know that he's a top target. Smile Munden is also a five-star linebacker, but I think Xavier Sori is the guy atop Georgia's wish list at the linebacker spot. He took a visit to Athens in mid-January. He got to shave Glenn Schumann's head at Sanford Stadium on his visit. That should tell you right there how much he is wanted in Athens if they're willing to let this kid come up and give a haircut to his possible future linebackers coach. So he's incredibly athletic. I think he's just a four-star prospect. There's probably a few linebackers ahead of him. But this is Georgia's number one target. It's Florida's number one target. Alabama's still in the mix. But I do think that this is a Georgia-Florida battle. And right now, I think Georgia would be the pick. If you had to make one tomorrow, I think he would pick Georgia very, very close. But I do think the Bulldogs are in the best spot for Xavier Sori, a guy who will bring athleticism, ball skills, sideline-to-sideline speed with him to Athens. Listen, Kirby goes after the best of the best at linebacker. He does it every year. Xavier Sori is one of the nation's best. And I do think that Georgia is probably in the best position right now. If not Georgia, then I would say Florida. Another guy who's making his decision, he's actually committing tomorrow. This is being put out on Wednesday, Thursday the 22nd. He will be making his announcement. Kamari Lassiter, three-star cornerback from Tuscaloosa, former Georgia native, grew up in Savannah. So don't let the Tuscaloosa ties and location right now fool you. I think it's Georgia, Auburn. This kid can hit. He's a physical cornerback. He's not ranked the highest. He's not the biggest or fastest guy, but this kid makes plays. He makes a lot of them. He's tough. He's physical. He's got the instincts. He reacts quickly when the ball's in the air. He's a gamer. He is a true football player with a nose for the football. There's a reason that Georgia and Clemson were after him so long. I think Clemson tried to get back into the mix this summer, but I think it's going to come down to Georgia and Auburn. Right now, I think, in my gut, I think he picks Georgia tomorrow, and I believe he will be Georgia's next commitment. Again, they have three defensive backs right now. David Daniel at safety, Dejon Warren at cornerback, and Javon Bullard at cornerback too. And there's still plenty of options out there, and Kamari Lassiter is one of them. I think Terrion Arnold, the four-star safety from Tallahassee, is probably their number one target at safety right now, and then Lassiter. But I think Lassiter is going to be welcomed with open arms and is allowed to jump on board tomorrow if he wants. I think he has a place in this class. And again, he's a really good player. Watch the film. It's 9 minutes of him covering guys, hitting guys, just being physical and knowing how to cover too. So I like this player a lot, and I think this would be a big pickup for Georgia tomorrow if he does pick the Bulldogs over Auburn. So another guy who I think could be close to a decision is four-star Nyland Green. I believe after talking with sources this week that he will announce a top four at the end of October and then make a decision in November. I think he could take two possible unofficial visits, but I've been told right now he knows everything about each school. He's seen enough to make a decision. So if he does go on visits, it'll probably be just for fun, one last look. But he has enough information to where he could make a decision tomorrow if he needs to. I think he'll drop at top four again by the 31st of this month and then make a decision in November. I like Georgia over Tennessee right now. I think he is Georgia's number one target at cornerback. So even if Kamari Lassiter picks Georgia tomorrow, I don't think it's going to impact Nyland Green whatsoever because he's Georgia's number one target. They're going to keep recruiting him, and if they accept Lassiter's commitment, that just shows you how much they like him, knowing they're going to keep after Nyland Green, and Nyland knows that too. He's built a strong relationship with the staff so far. Earlier this spring and summer, I thought Auburn was his leader, then I thought Clemson was, then Georgia, and I still think Georgia is probably the team to beat right now over Tennessee. He's one of my favorite players in Georgia in this 21 class. Lean, athletic, he's long, fast. He can play wide receiver. He's got great ball skills and can take it to the house when he has the ball. So he's a pick six candidate if he gets one on defense. And he's a guy that Georgia really likes, and I don't blame him. He's a big-time player. And again, I like Georgia over Tennessee right now if you were to make a decision. Smile Munden, a guy I mentioned earlier, 5-star out of Paulding County. This is going to be up to Georgia Auburn still, I think. I think Georgia has a lot of momentum here. I thought Auburn was the team to beat when I met with him in the spring, and all throughout the summer I thought Auburn was the team to beat. But I'm starting to hear more and more about Georgia's chances, which is interesting because I don't think they'll land both Sorey and Munden. But I mean, that would be an incredible haul. I just don't see it happening right now. So if I were to make a guess, I would still pick Auburn, but there's plenty of buzz with Georgia and Smile Munden. He is missing the season with a meniscus injury, so I think right now he is trying to focus on narrowing things down in his recruitment. He's another guy who I think could announce in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Big-time player, one of the top prospects in Georgia, and a guy that the Bulldogs are hard after. Again, I think Sorey's number 1 on their board, right in front of Smile Munden. They'll take both of them gladly. I definitely think they'll get one or the other. But Smile Munden, definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Amari Daniels is a running back. He's down to 2, Georgia and Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M is probably ahead of Georgia right now. I've always thought the Aggies were the team to beat here. But he does love Georgia, obviously, and I think if Georgia really, really wants to take a second back, they'll accept his commitment. I don't know exactly when he's making this decision, but it is going to come down to Texas A&M and Georgia. Right now, I think the Aggies are probably the team he would pick, but again, if Georgia's been recruiting this kid harder than I originally thought, then maybe they have been pushing for his commitment, want to get that second running back on board. So I think it could be Georgia here, but lately, or the past few weeks, few months, I believe that Texas A&M was in the best spot to land him right now. I think that's about it, guys. There's plenty of recruiting news. I'm writing stories every day about recruiting, new stuff popping up. Again, I know we're in the middle of a football season, but recruiting never stops. There's a lot of top targets still out there, a lot of 5-star prospects that are still very interested in Georgia. So make sure you're on Dawg Post for all the latest recruiting news that I'm going to be bringing to you. Thanks for this. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Always appreciate it. And stick around for the next video coming up right now, and I will see you over on the website.